Okay, so we're live. Welcome. My name is Christine Leeser with ChristineLeeser.com. All links are in the description, of course. And so tonight I thought that we would talk a little bit about gratitude, talk a little bit about the full moon in Gemini on Monday, and do some free tarot readings. So I'd like to welcome you to my space and talk about gratitude. I wrote a blog post on it this week, and you can access that in the description as well. But I think at this time of year, everyone starts to talk about gratitude, right? Where whether you're religious or in the United States, which if you're in the United States, happy Thanksgiving. If you're outside, happy Friday. But we start to talk about gathering. And whether we're religious or not, this time of the year, it gets colder. Even if you're in Florida, it's kind of chilly here right now. But we talk about looking inward, gathering our friends, gathering our family by choice or by blood, and starting to really think about what we're grateful for, what we want to create more of in our lives, and abundance and manifestation, cornucopia, if you will. Um, I have a story that I like to really be grateful all the time. I really try to recognize what I've got, what's great in my life, and try to add more of that. And I was talking to a friend today, and I was reminded of a conversation that I had with her years ago. And at that point in time, my finances were pretty bleak, they were not good. And I was really worried about that. And trying to figure out how to manifest more of what we needed. And she had a really interesting idea in that at that point in time, I was really expanding my social circle. My children were almost grown, and we were doing all kinds of new things and meeting new people. And our circle just grew and grew and grew. And I would post about that on social media. And in doing so, it created a way for us to meet even more people. And my girlfriend Ashley said to me, when you post about friends and the great friends that you're making and how much your social circle is expanding, what happens? Well, more people are attracted to it and more friends show up, and it just expands wider and wider. What if you did that with your finances? And I thought about it, and I don't really want to post about money on Facebook. That seemed a little crass, right? I don't think it is anymore, but at that point in time, I was living out of fear. So I started to post and talk about more of the abundance that was showing up in our lives, how things, what we needed, always seemed to show up. And I know that I come from a place of privilege in that I'm in the United States and we have resources that a lot of people don't have. So I recognize that privilege. But we would talk more and more. And it took a couple of years, but I realized that as I focused on what I already had and was grateful for it, more and more abundance would show up in my life. And that was a lot of people already had that. I did not. It took me a long time to get to that place. But when I finally did, I realized that we create the abundance, right? That if we're grateful for something, more of it shows up. If we actively love something, you get even more of it. If you talk about it and look at it, and you just start creating this sense of abundance, and in turn, you're even more grateful. So they really go hand in hand, right? The more grateful you are, the more good stuff shows up. The more good stuff shows up, the more grateful you are. And I truly believe that that's how it works. So, that being said, if you want to read the article, it's in the link below, and I'd love for you to check it out. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about is the full moon in Gemini on Monday, the 25th, 6th, 27th. And the full moon in Gemini, Gemini is a very communicative, mercurial, flitting from one thing to the next, looking at the duality of a situation, being able to see both sides of the situation. And that's opposite to the sun in Sagittarius. So it's kind of like the sun in Sagittarius is like, let's go on a great adventure. And the moon in Gemini is, well, yeah, that sounds like a great time. But where are we going? Do we need a reservation? Do we need to learn another language? Gemini is all about the details. So this great adventure definitely needs a plan. And that's where Sagittarius and Gemini really can create a lot of fun. And then we have Saturn in Pisces, which is square um, to the moon and the sun. So Saturn in Pisces, Saturn very much is these are the rules. This is what has to be done. You can't do that if you don't do this. Or if you do that, this will happen. And it's all about the rules and the consequences. And I think we can see on the world stage that's playing out a bit with Saturn and how we need to look at things and there's a lot of terrible things going on in the world right now and the Gemini moon will shine a bright light on this. And you may know it already and you say, oh, I knew that. But now you can't unsee it. And you have to go through and look at the different ways we can solve these things. And none of this is easy. And it can be on the world stage, it could be in your life or both. I think for me, it's both. But it's the time when we have to say, we know this is happening. We can't turn a blind eye on it anymore. And what are we going to do next? And I think that more of us need to be doing that. More of us need to be taking responsibility for what we do, what we've done, what history has done, which may not be us exactly, but it's up to us to make it better. That's, there's an old adage that says you're not required to finish the job, but you are required to start it, to begin the work, to do the work. And I think that that's really important. So that's how I feel about the full moon in Gemini. And I'd love to hear what you're feeling about it. And now I guess we'll get to some readings. So I guess I want to talk about. So I am doing a launch on December 1st that it's going to be a jump start kind of thing. And basically, what we're going to do is we're going to look at what you really love and what really lights you up and what you love to do and talk about, and really break it down into how you can go about creating those things and exploring those things. And it's going to be a Canva template, and it's going to have things that you can absolutely change to suit whatever it is that you are looking to do. It will have video instruction, not live video, but there'll be videos for each section of it and how to do it, how to get the most out of it. And it's a free class, training, whatever you want to call it, but you do have to sign up for the website, for the mailing list. You can unsubscribe at any time, but I would like to do a reading around how that might go. What might I need to do to make it of service to as many people as I can? So let's try that. And I'm using the Radiant Weight Smith, sorry, tarot deck. Okay, so I get the King of Wands, which has been coming up a lot for me. And I have the authority, I have the mastery of this to help other people with it. Oh, look, we've got a troll. Can somebody report that, please? So the King of Wands sitting on his throne thinking, I know how to do this. I can help these people. And that's what I hope to do. Three of Pentacles, being good at what you do, putting in the work, knowing how to do the things that you want to be doing that are going to help people. So that looks pretty good to me. And the Five of Wands, that's interesting, huh? So more than conflict, I think of this as like practice, like practicing my method for myself as well as for others so that I'm at the top of it, that I can really get to what it is and help as many people as possible. And that might be something to look at here too. So I'm thinking I'm on the right track. And then we've got the Page of Pentacles. And for me, this is learning new things and doing new things. And Pentacles are finances, groundedness, being grounded. So I think that that's a good card for me to realize that I need to stay grounded in this. And that I need to be open. I need to have an open mind about what comes up around it. So that's the reading for my launch, which again is December 1st. So I don't know if people are away this weekend or everybody's recovering from their turkey, but we don't seem to have a lot of people here. So we might end this a little bit early, but that's okay. I'm going to do this hopefully every Friday. I'm sure there'll be times when I can't do it, but the plan is every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to be here on my channel. If you'd like to subscribe and hit the bell, you'll be notified when I go live. Hi, 64 Amy Penn. I'm going to guess your name is Amy. I'd be happy to give you a card. Is there anything in particular you're looking at or you'd like information about? Just a card? Okay. What does Amy need to, oh, looking for a job. Okay, that's important. Let's see what we've got for you. Will a job come for Amy? Okay, so the first one, that would be a yes. Celebrating the new job that comes. Be open to new ideas and thoughts. Maybe look outside of what you think you're looking for and broaden that search. Maybe there's a job that's coming towards you. It's not what you expect. So just be open to that. The Emperor. So this is authority over things. I don't know what your field is, but you've got what it takes. You're definitely on the right path. So when might that job come? Let's try that. The King of Wands. I got this one too. This has been a very active card for me lately. Mastery over your thoughts. Do you have a lot of fear surrounding whether or not you're going to get the job or a job? I would say that having faith, knowing that it is coming. Yes, I totally see yes. I just don't see when. Okay, let's try. Will Amy have to wait a long time, or will it happen? Let's be positive. Will Amy's job come quickly? What type of job? I think that you'd have to answer that. I'm just saying that you should be more open to where you're looking. That maybe not have it so narrow. We got the Ten of Pentacles. This is a great card. This is, wealth and family and inheritance. And so I think it's imminent. I think it's not that far away. Does that resonate for you? You're very welcome. You're very welcome. And I wish you much luck with your search. All right. What else? Please forgive my cough drop. It's allergy season every day. So instead of choke in your face, I'm choosing a cough drop. Anyway, oh good. I'm glad it resonates, Amy. It is Amy, right? I hope so. All right, what else? What can we talk about? I know. Is everybody away on vacation and that's why it's so quiet? Oh, you're worried that it'll be a job you don't want. Well, I guess I would say to that, nothing is forever. So if it's a job that you don't want, either A, don't take it, don't accept it, or know that it's not permanent and you can change your circumstances. You can leave that job if something better comes along. If you have to take a job in the interim because you need the money, it's not the end of the world because it's not the last job you're going to have. So if you have to take it while you keep looking, that's okay too. Okay, Christine. Hello, other Christine. I would love a card about a new job coming for me. I've been looking maybe December. Thanks in advance. Okay, so everybody's looking for a new job. That's interesting. Okay. Will Christine get her new job in December? On Page of Pentacles. In December. I don't know that this denotes a time frame, but are you in education? This speaks to me of scholarship. That's why I'm saying that. I'm really interested to see if that's your field. I don't think that answered the question about December. When will Christine get her new job? Amy's field is education. Well, that's interesting. Am I getting my wires crossed? It could be. Okay, so Christine, we got the Tower. And what this says to me is that something's got to go before you get what you're looking for. So is there something in your life that's Christine says, I have a background with teaching children. Currently, I do tarot and oracle card readings online, but not doing personal readings at this time. Okay, so is there something that is in your life or that you're doing that you need to remove in order to get where you're looking to go? Does that resonate? So everybody's got a background in education. Isn't that interesting? I do not have a background in education. Well, that's not true. I homeschooled my kids, so maybe I do have a background in education. All right. So the launch, my launch. Let's see. I have not asked about this yet. I have not asked the cards about this yet. So what do I need to know about my launch December 1st? Everything has a season. Okay, so my mentor, Christiana Gaudet, I said to her, why is everybody reading a book? And she said, well, it's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. No matter whether you believe in a Christian background or not, the people who created this particular deck absolutely did. So they're writing the Gospels, right? So my launch has a lot to do with writing. It's all about self communication and writing and journaling. So I hope it's the season for it, right? So Christine says, I had the tower come up for myself recently. Maybe it's with children in a different way I am not expecting. That's very, very possible. Also, is there some structure that you need to dismantle in order to move forward? Like, is there a traditional method that maybe isn't working for you anymore? Um, that you should look at or adding something to it or removing something to it. I would think more removing something from it. Um, so I would look at that. I would look at my foundations and see where I might tweak that. Christine said, I love the Wheel of Fortune for you. Things are changing. Things are changing. It's been 2023 has been a year. Let's just leave it at that. And don't forget to rest. I think this goes for all of us. This is the season where nobody sleeps enough. Everybody eats too much and drinks too much and parties too much and stays up too late. I don't really stay out late anymore, but that might be different for you. Remember to rest. And that's a huge one for me. And the last card for that is the Page of Swords. I feel like we're getting a lot of repeat cards tonight. So be open to new ideas. And that's really relevant because I've been doing this jumpstart thing for a long time. And recently, about 2 months ago, I thought, you know what? We need a different element to this. And I'm adding the video training to it. So, what else do I need to be open to? What other new thoughts have I not thunk yet? So, I would say I'm in the right season. I don't know if you keep seeing that, but I keep hitting my keyboard and it flickers. Christine says, I'm not sure what it could be. I also take care of my autistic son who is 15 and in 10th grade. Maybe the job is somewhere else, but I'm not sure what else the tower could be. So let's ask, what else could the tower mean for Christine? For Christine Halliwell. There's when you read for someone with the same name as you got to be really specific, right? Okay. So what else could the tower mean? A burden? Knowing what to hold on to and what to let go of. Not carrying this burden well. I can't remember who said it to me. I'm sure it was Christiana, but the way that he's carrying the wands is not a way you could carry wands. You see that? Like they would all fall all over the place. So is there something you need to let go of? Could that be what the tower is? I mean, I think we said that about the tower. So can you think on that? Do you think that the tower might be talking about a burden that's not necessary for you to carry anymore? What do you think about that? Christine says, not carrying emotional burdens of the past, not taking the old stories that are not serving me. Okay, so this is another great, that's perfect. And this is another great thing that I spoke about in the beginning of the video with the full moon in Gemini and having it shine on what's no longer serving you and letting that go. Yes, time to let go of old emotional negative patterns. I think there's a whole lot of us in that space right now. So I know it's been going on for a couple of years, but it really feels like it's building and culminating and we're going to evolve. It almost feels like a group evolution that, it's time to let go of the things that don't serve you, of the things that hurt you, of the wounds that you could not stop from happening. right? But the idea of forgiveness, and I love this. You don't forgive the harm that was done to you. You don't forgive you don't give the person a pass. You don't give the situation a pass. But for me, forgiveness means there was nothing I could have done to change that. So I'm going to put this down. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm healing, or I have healed from the wound. It's time to put it down. That don't forgiving Christine says, forgiving myself for what I did or didn't do. And that's so important. I believe that most of us do the best that we can with the situation that we're in. And sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes you don't do it right. You just don't get it right. And you have to forgive yourself for that. And did you learn something from it? And most times I would say, yeah, you did. You learned something from it. And can we move forward and be better at it now? Absolutely. Letting go of guilt. That's beautiful, Christine. I love that. I love that so much. So, yeah. Whew, we go deep. So, all right. Do we have any other questions? All right. So, how might we do better? Oh, you're very welcome, Christine. It's my pleasure. How might we do better putting down the things that no longer serve us? I've got a big one that I'm holding on to with by the skin of my teeth, and I know I need to put it down. I know I need to put it down. But I'm not ready yet. I have a therapist who says, "Well, you're not done suffering," which is so offensive. But it's true. So, how could we put these things down with a little bit more ease? What could we do to just let go? Look at what's out there. Look at what's the truth. Look at what we're waiting on. Ooh, you know how this hits me? I'm trying to get this clear. There we go. This hits me like, what am I waiting for to let these things go? Or this big thing for me? What am I waiting for to let things go? To let this thing or things go? Hmm. The Empress. What are you birthing? What are you creating? What what do you need to look at to have a fertility of body or of mind or creativity? And that's, when I'm struggling with something, I turn to writing, I turn to music, listening or playing, it doesn't matter. But creativity is a big thing for me. So I love the Empress card too. It's one of my favorites. My favorite is the Nine of Pentacles, but the Empress is pretty high up there. So broaden our horizons and see things from a new perspective, seeing things from love, not fear. Oh, that I just got goosebumps. I love that. That's so good. That's so good. Okay, so is there anything else we need to cover before? Sure, go ahead, Amy. Ask another question. Absolutely. Will I get the job at KU Medical Center? That's pretty specific. Let's see. Will I get the job at a KU Medical Center? Okay, the deck doesn't want to shuffle, so it's all over the place. I think you need to work for it. I think you need to learn what it is you need to learn in order to get that job. But it's not out of the realm of possibility. I wouldn't say that that's an absolute yes. I think that's a conditional yes. What do you think? Go for it. So, have you done everything that you need to do to be considered for the position? Are all your T's crossed and your I's dotted? I think that that would be a great place to look. Like really make sure that you meet every criteria that they say you need to meet. I think you've got a really good shot. Yeah. Just make sure you've covered all your bases. Okay, so it's a half hour, 31 minutes we've gone. I think this is a good place to end it. I want to thank you so much for joining me, especially, the Friday after Thanksgiving. I didn't really think that one through, but it is what it is, right? It's what it's supposed to be. So, all the links are in the description below. If you want to reach out on social media, I promise I always reach back. If you want to subscribe and hit the little bell, it'll let you know when I go live or where I post something else. You're very welcome. Oh, here comes Tarot Destroyer again. Okay, so Tower Destroyer, thank you for your interest. So, thank you so much for joining me. I so appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much. Oh, it's my pleasure, Christine. Come on back anytime. Thank you so much. Good night.